Hi everybody, my name is Volodymyr Plachotny and you're watching July 1st issue of IT Newsweek on Brain TV. Tune in for the selection of the most interesting news on global and Ukrainian IT scene, according to Brain TV editorial. We also want to thank our partner Hub 4.0 co-working space for supporting us in filming this issue.
These are the top stories of the week. Ukrainian city Lviv hosted Lviv IT Jazz Conference, a networking event for representatives of major IT, investment and business companies. Kyivstar, the Wimpel.com group and AT Kearney presented a joint research on Ukraine's existing digital entrepreneurial ecosystem. Kyiv hosted BDM Summit, organized by Lemberg Tech Business School, to promote the exchange of experience in the industry and inspire the most productive part of the Ukrainian IT to new achievements. Microsoft paid out compensation for forcing Windows 10 on women from California. Google will launch its own phone this year. Obama is considering becoming a venture capitalist after presidency. The US Federal Aviation Administration eased rules for commercial drone pilots.
Uber officially launched in Kyiv yesterday, June the 30th. This service already operates in more than 400 cities around the world. What are the criteria for picking the drivers who want to cooperate with Uber? What cars will Uber use in Kyiv and what is the minimum taxi fare? Watch Brain TV's report to find out. In Ukraine, Uber introduced its most mass product, the budget Uber X version. The minimum cost of a trip is about 40 hryvnias. Until July the 3rd, users of the service will be able to take up to 5 free trips, with each not exceeding 150 hryvnias. B-segment cars and vehicles produced after 2008 will be serving Kyivans and its guests. And you can forget about the Deolenes cars. On June the 30th, more than 100 Uber drivers began to carry passengers. The drivers who want to work with Uber must have a license for passenger transportation and a police clearance certificate. It is still not known when Uber will begin operating in other Ukrainian cities. But the head of the Ukrainian office, Arkady Vershebenyuk, reassured that Uber is interested in all the cities with a million-plus population. Mayor of Kyiv Vitaly Klitschko became the first Uber passenger in the Ukrainian capital. In order to use the Uber service, keep in mind that you will first need to install the eponymous app on your mobile phone and sign up with a credit card, which is used to pay the taxi fare. On June 26th and June 27th, representatives of major IT, investment and business companies gathered in Lviv for Lviv IT Jazz Conference. It had 3 sections. The first one united government and city officials to speak about the way the state can improve IT environment. The second one gathered experts to discuss the changes needed for business growth. And the third one arranged the dialogue between investors and IT companies. Watch our exclusive report from the event.
Ми хочемо у Львові щороку збирати IT-підприємці-інвестори для того, щоб обговорювати проекти, які, в принципі, змінюють екосистему для IT. Тобто саме сьогодні в нас була чудова презентація проекту, нашого нового проекту IT-парк. Це Innovation District IT-парк. Це, в принципі, такий новий район, високотехнологічний, де буде зосереджено нова освіта, класні технологічні компанії і, в принципі, все, що потрібно для розвитку і зростання компаній.
Кластеру цього року було 5 років, і ми багато проєктів робили, але минулого року почали працювати трошки з інфраструктурними проєктами і бачимо, що для повнофункціональної екосистеми, тобто в нас є всі складові, але в майбутньому, якщо ми дивимося на декілька років в майбутнє, на 5, на 10 років, нам потрібно вже працювати над інфраструктурними проектами і думати про це. Також ті проекти потрібні для притоку спеціалістів до міста, коли вони розуміють, що у Львові працювати краще, чим в інших містах в Україні, чи чим в інших містах в Східній Європі, ми будемо притягувати звітом таланти.
Розвиток IT-кластеру неможливий без сучасної освіти для фахівців IT, але так само сучасна освіта неможлива без IT-технологій. І ми сьогодні якраз обговорювали цей взаємозв'язок. Зрозуміло, що нам зараз треба змінювати стандарти вищої освіти, і, зокрема, IT-освіти. І для мене було важливо звернутися до IT-спільноти, аби вони взяли участь в розробці цих стандартів. Тому що ці стандарти мають розробляти не академічні викладачі тільки, а саме ті, хто розуміють потреби сучасного ринку праці в IT-сфері.
That the IT industry in Lviv is very, very vibrant. Yeah, it's very dynamic and it's growing. And one of the key concerns of the IT firms is the attraction and the retention of IT talent. That's its employees. And at the moment, the market has managed to grow, with let's say the use of refurbished office space. But as the market continues to mature, if we're going to retain that talent, then we really do need to create a proper environment where people can work and live. In a comfortable environment. If we don't do that, then there's a risk that that talent may actually leave the region and may go to other regions in Ukraine, or may worse, actually move overseas. So it's creating the environment where people want to work and live.
Non-competent government in regards to developing the industry is worse when it's interfering, meaning it should stop trolling, it should stop the raids, what it is doing, it should deregulate everything that could be deregulated, it should interfere as little as possible, but at a certain point, when the government has certain resources, certain minds, creative minds, certain financial resources, it should start also helping, meaning creating the ecosystem. For example, creating accelerators, incubators, educational program, lobbying and promoting the IT industry.
The Ukrainian economy is somewhat immature as a market and as a source of resources and a source of intellectual property. It's not as advanced. It's not so many years out of a controlled Soviet economy, which presents obstacles but also opportunities. But on the other hand, you've got nearly 50 million people with one of the best scientific and technological university programs in the world, and a huge percentage of those people go into engineering and in technology. Anybody who's an investor should look at investing in Ukraine. It's one of the few places with a massive, well-educated, highly literate population who could buy a lot of things, who can design a lot of things and produce a lot of things.
Успіх нашої індустрії базується на дуже багатьох подіях. Так? Вони є як в Україні, так і за кордоном. Події такого масштабу – це є один з тих кроків, які ми повинні робити для того, щоб будувати правильний імідж IT-індустрії всередині України. Ми хочемо, щоб кращі таланти не забували про цю можливість приєднатися до нашої індустрії, працювати в Україні. І маючи такі події, ми фактично популяризуємо нашу індустрію серед людей, які проживають в Україні.
What can we say about Ukraine's existing digital entrepreneurial ecosystem? What are its strengths and weaknesses? Kyivstar, the Wimpel.com Group and A.T. Kearney recently analyzed it and presented a joint research in Fedoriv Hub. Watch Brain TV's report to learn more on the story.
The Ukrainian IT ecosystem is supported by talented engineers and recent 3G launch, but hampered by lack of investments, according to A.T. Kearney's report. So how can Ukraine build a world-class digital startup ecosystem? Let's hear what guests of Kyivstar Business Hub have to say.
With one word, I'll say partnership. Partnership is also a UN goal, and it's one that ties everything together. And in today's network world, no individual startup can succeed on its own. It will succeed within the ecosystem. So partnering right at the right time with the right parties will be the one-word answer.
I believe that Ukraine is already building a world-class ecosystem because I can see it every day. And sometimes, from the legislator, from governments, from authorities, the most important thing is to create and help the infrastructure. Probably, not really setting too many rules because, magic happens when entrepreneurs drive the revolution. So I see already Ukrainian entrepreneurs driving the IT revolution. You are on the right track, and I believe that private initiative, it is the answer, not necessarily too much public involvement.
Kyiv hosted BDM Summit, event organized by Lemberg Tech Business School aimed to promote the exchange of experience in the industry and inspire the most productive part of the Ukrainian IT to the new achievements. Conference had several tracks. The first track was called Outsourcing Hero and provided useful knowledge about the strategies of outsourcing companies, whereas the second track, called Sale Like a Pro, was intended for marketing and sales managers. Watch our report from event to get more details.
Це перший захід для селзів, маркетологів і бізнес-девелопмент-менеджерів, які проводить школа технологічного бізнесу Lemberg в Києві. Мені б хотілося, щоб в результаті цього заходу цих 120 учасників, які представляють 60-70 компаній, мені б хотілося, щоб через рік чи через півроку власників, хоча б половина власників цих компаній сказали, що завдяки цьому їм вдалося виростити або аккаунти, або прибутковість, або маржинальність їхнього бізнесу.
И как выделяться среди аутсорсинговых компаний. Самое главное, да, самую такую вот выдержку, которую я могу сказать, это у вас должна быть внутренняя уникальность, да, она должна быть внутри вас, внутри основного коллектива, и, соответственно, вы должны ее переносить внешне. Наша миссия – помогать клиентам, помогать стартапам и компаниям, сократить их time to market, предоставляя самые лучшие команды по разработке.
Что такое продажи в Силиконовой долине? Есть разные методы, на котором стартапу, либо это аутсорсинговая компания, либо стартап, когда нужно продавать свой продукт или свои сервисы, соответственно. В самом начале могут работать холодные имейлы, звонки, рефералы. Это первая стадия развития. Впоследствии, когда начинаешь расширяться, понимаешь, что нужно перейти к enterprise. Впоследствии с enterprise работают только личные коннекшены, это работают интродакшены, работают знакомства. Именно для этого мы делаем и платформу. То есть платформа завязана на как раз интродакшенах.
I find with Ukraine companies, they're great at developing products. And they're just a little bit behind in building out those great sales processes and having a great sales foundation as those North American counterparts. So really just try to help the Ukraine companies understand a little bit more about how to build out an effective sales team and how to effectively market their products a little bit better. So one of the most important things in sales is to make sure you have that product market fit. So once you want to establish your product market, you really want to double down on that market and spend more time with those type of customers that are already bringing you that revenue. And that's the easiest way to grow revenue without having to look for new type of customers to sell to each and every time. Understanding who your perfect customer is, building use cases is the easiest way to grow your revenue.
Now let's talk about the most important news on the global IT scene. Microsoft paid a price for its Windows 10 upgrade tactics. A woman from California took Microsoft to court over the company's upgrade tactics, and she won. What was the compensation? Watch the video to find out. According to Beta News, the owner of a California-based travel agency has received a $10,000 settlement from Microsoft after a forced Windows 10 upgrade rendered her computer unusable. Terry Goldstein found that her work computer downloaded and started to install Windows 10 without her permission, but the installation failed. According to Goldstein, the installation not only failed but also slowed down her computer, leading to days of lost business. After failing to get help from Microsoft's customer support, she took the company to court. Microsoft has received a great deal of criticism of its aggressive pushing of Windows 10, but this is the first time the company has offered a financial settlement because of an upgrade. Google is working on its own line of smartphones that could be available by the end of the year. Google's Android operating system already works on several phones. But sources tell The Telegraph that the company wants to release its own handset and venture further into hardware. Here is the video with more details for you. If launched, Google's handset would be in direct competition with Apple's iPhone lineup, according to The Telegraph. Google is planning to take more control over the design, manufacturing and software of the handset. Also, the internet giant is already in discussion with the mobile operators about a Google-branded handset. Sources familiar with the matter told The Telegraph. Unlike its major market rival Apple, Google leaves the manufacturing part to other smartphone vendors, while putting more focus on the development of its Android mobile operating system that runs on 1.4 billion devices. It has developed several Nexus-branded devices in a partnership with manufacturers such as LG, Huawei, HTC and Samsung. Its own phone would allow Google to control the software, securing the future of services such as the Google Search Engine and Google Play App Store that run on it, The Telegraph explained. What's next for the US President Barack Obama after 8 years at the White House? Well, it may be a lucrative career in venture capital. In a recent interview with Bloomberg, American president suggested that venture investment may be just the thing for his post-presidential career. What particular sphere sparks Obama's interest? Watch Brain TV report to get the answer. As the country holds its breath in anticipation of who will take Barack Obama's chair in the Oval Office, the president is considering how to get his CV into the right hands after his 8-year lease on the White House expires. In a recent interview with Bloomberg Businessweek, Obama spoke about his interest in precision medicine or genetics, which has the potential to transform how we treat cancer and other diseases. And he suggested that an investing role in Silicon Valley would bring together his interests in science and management. The US Federal Aviation Administration has published its regulations for small drones weighing under 55 pounds. It's a key move toward integrating commercial use of technology into America's airspace. So what are the rules for commercial drone usage? Watch the video with the details. Beginning in August 2016, pilots' licenses are no longer required. The US Federal Aviation Administration mandates pilots to get a remote pilot certificate or be under the supervision of somebody with a pilot certificate. To do so, they will have to pass a knowledge test and be at least 16 years old. Also, pilots must register the aircraft. Drones can now be used for commercial purposes, including crop inspections, search and rescue operations, and film production. Speaking about drones, Brain TV recently interviewed Michal Mazur, partner and head of drone-powered solutions. What are the key commercial applications of drones? What are the drivers and barriers of drone-powered solutions? Very soon you'll find out answers to these and other questions in an interview Michal Mazur gave to Brain TV channel. This is all for today. Once again, we want to thank our partner Hub 4.0 coworking space for supporting us in filming this issue. Keep watching Brain TV to power your intelligence. See you next week.